The Boy Who Counted Stars. Jimmy decided when he was 7 that he would count the stars in heaven. Counting them all, he said, will be fun, and I'll never give up till I'm done. You cannot count them all, said his dad. It's too big a job for a little lad. But Jimmy said, I've already begun, and I'll never give up till I'm done. Come in, called his mother. It's time for bed. But Jimmy counted stars instead, and when it was morning and too light to see, he'd counted 12,003. Night after night he was back in the yard. Counting stars, he said, isn't hard. I'm already up to 1,000,001, and I'll never give up till I'm done. A year rolled by, and Jimmy was 8. He slept all day and stayed up late. Give up, begged his father. This simply won't do. But Jimmy said, I'm not through. By the time he was 20, he'd counted 1,000,000,000. The day he turned 40, he shouted, 1,000,000,000,000! His dad said, You'll never get finished, my son, if you live to 101. The neighbors are talking, his mother sighed. But Jimmy just smiled with quiet pride. I'm up to 10,000,000,003,000,002, and you know I'll not stop till I'm through. When Jimmy was 80, he said with a grin, I've counted 3,000,000,000,000,010. My life counting stars has been wonderfully nice, but I wish I could count them all twice. Jim was 101 when he died, and he wasn't quite finished, but oh, how he'd tried. The neighbors were sad and felt sorry for Jim. They knew what finishing the job meant to him. But suddenly, they heard a voice in the sky. I know I can count the last star if I try. 99 jillion, zillion, trillion, and 2. I've done it! I'm finally through! At last he has finished his job, people said. Now he can rest his weary old head. But again, they could hear Jimmy chuckle with glee. From up here, the stars are much easier to see. I think I will count them again just for fun. And they all heard him shout, That's 1! How Willie Grew. Willie was smaller than the other boys, but his mother said, Son, don't fret. One of these days you'll grow a foot. You'll catch those big boys yet. And sure enough, Willie grew a foot, but not like his mother said, because whatever it was had 5 little toes, and it stuck right out of his head. They. I don't know their names, but they live in the grass, and they're only 2 inches tall, and nobody knows where they came from or why they're so terribly small. They slip through the clover and hide in the leaves, so you seldom can see them at all, and nobody knows why they live there near the base of our garden wall. They dance and parade by the light of the moon and visit with crickets all day, and nobody knows how they got there or whether they're planning to stay. And maybe you'll meet them, and maybe you won't if you come to my house to play, 'cause everyone wants to know who they are, but nobody knows but they.